Good morning, everyone. My name is Farhana S. Mangakob, and I will be discussing binge disorder and ARFID or avoidant restrictive food intake disorder. So first, let's let's discuss binge disorder. So what is binge disorder? So, binge eating disorder is a serious condition characterized by recurrent episodes of binge eating. So, yung mga tao na nakaka-experience ng ganitong disorder is like hindi nila nafe-feel na busog na sila and hindi nila kontrolado yung pagkain or yung pag-consume nila ng mga kinakain nila. Hindi nila na-maintain yung kung hindi nila nalilimit yung kinakain nila, like hindi siya normal sa ibang tao na hindi nakakaranas ng ganitong disorder. Sobra-sobra yung pag-consume nila ng food, then after that is makaka-feel sila ng guilt or um, maiinis sila sa sarili nila for having that disorder. So, for example, is kumain sila ngayon, then, kapag may nakita na naman silang pagkain, is kakainin na naman nila. So, unlike sa ibang disorder, yung binge disorder is kahit na sobra-sobra yung pagkain mo is hindi sila nasusuka or hindi sila nakaka-experience ng purging. So, yung bad is more than just overreacting. It's a big condition that can have an impact on a person physical and mental health. Now, let's proceed to the symptoms of binge eating disorder. So, first symptoms of binge eating disorder is eating much more rapidly than normal. So, this symptom shows na maraming kinakain yung may disorder na ganito and kada minuto or oras is kumakain siya. Hindi niya nararamdaman na busog siya and binabaliwala niya yung lasa or taste nung kinakain niya, pero hindi naman siya nasusuka or hindi siya nakakaroon ng purging unlike sa ibang disorder. So, second is eating until uncomfortably full. So, one of the symptoms din is even busog na busog ka na, if may makita kang pagkain is kakain ka pa rin. So, madalas nangyayari yung ganito if stressed or malungkot yung isang tao. Third symptoms of binge eating is eating large amount of food when not hungry. This symptom shows that the individual eats even when they are not experiencing physical hunger, often driven by emotional or psychological factors. So, if bored or stressed yung isang taong may binge disorder is yung coping mechanism nila is kumain and even hindi naman sila nagugutom. So, fourth is eating alone due to feeling of embarrassment and shame. So, yung may ganitong disorder is like nahihiya silang makipag-socialize sa ibang tao, um, especially when it comes to pag magsasabay silang kumain. So, ayaw nilang makipag-socialize kasama yung ibang tao. Like, umiiwas sila na ma-judge sila or may masabi yung ibang tao na negative kasi marami silang nako-consume na pagkain and hindi naman sila aware doon. So next is feeling guilty or disgusted with oneself for after I binge. These symptoms indicates that the individual experiences negative emotion after consuming large amount of food, often feeling regret or self-criticism. So, after nung binge eating disorder is, yung isang tao is nagagalit sila sa sarili nila for eating too much. Then, i-criticize nila yung sarili nila for having that disorder. So next is hiding food and eating in secret. So like eating alone na symptom is pareho sila dito. So, yung isang tao is magtatago siya para kumain and para walang makakita sa kanya for um, to avoid judgments na makukuha nila sa ibang tao or yung mga negative thoughts ng mga tao about sa symptoms or disorder niya na ganun. So, lastly, eating in response to emotional. So, this symptom shows that the individual use food is as a coping mechanism to deal with emotions such as stress, sadness, or anxiety. So, sa sinabi ko kanina is yung coping mechanism nila is kumain or yung food na favorite nila is yun yung magpapagaan ng loob nila if stressed or malungkot or nagkaka-anxiety sila. So, those are symptoms of binge eating disorder. So, now, let's proceed to treatments of binge eating disorder. So, first is avoid skipping meals. So, skipping meals can lead to low blood sugar levels, making you feel extremely hungry later. This often result in overeating when you finally do it. So, it's like if nag-skip ka ng breakfast, mas mafe-feel mo yung gutom when it's time to lunchtime. And it can lead na mag-overeat ka or mas piliin mo na kumain ng mga unhealthy na pagkain kasi hindi mo na-feel na nabubusog ka or marami ka nang na-consume na pagkain. So, second is avoid emotional eating. Emotional eating occurs when we eat in response of feeling rather than hunger. So, importante talaga na malaman natin kung anong food yung nagtitrigger sa atin para maiwasan natin yon. For example is, if stress ka and yung hinahanap mo is ice cream, then try mo na mag-deep breathing or maglakad-lakad para ma-manage mo yung stress mo without overeating. So, third is avoid food triggers. So, like sa emotional eating, is certain food can trigger our cravings na magli-lead sa overeating. So, need natin na malaman kung ano yung madalas na nagtitrigger sa atin para ma-less or maiwasan natin para hindi na natin maranasan yung binge disorder. So, for example, always may chips sa bahay nyo and you find yourself na yun yung favorite food mo if nanonood ka ng TV. So, instead of that, pwede mong itry na hindi siya bilhin or keep them out of your sight para ma-reduce yung temptation mo sa pagkain nun. So, fourth is avoid eating alone. So, eating with others can make meals more enjoyable and promote mindful eating. It's easier to overeat when you're alone and distracted. So, for example, if you usually eat dinner alone while watching TV, try sharing meals with family or friends. So, this encourage conversations, attention to what you're eating, making you less likely to overeat. So, that's the symptoms and treatments of binge disorder. So, if you or someone you know is struggling with binge disorder, it's important to seek professional help. Treatment can include therapy, national counseling, and medication, and can help individuals develop healthy coping mechanism and regain control over their eating. So now let's proceed to avoidant restrictive food intake disorder. So this is an eating disorder that affects a person's relationship with food and can lead to serious health issues. So let's proceed or let's explore the RFID and its symptoms and effective treatments strategies of this disorder. So what is ARFID? ARFID is characterized by a persistent lack of interest in eating or an avoidance of food due to sensory issues, fear about choking, or concern about vomiting. This disorder can lead to significant weight loss, nutritional deficiencies, and social isolation. So, yung disorder na to is opposite naman siya sa binge disorder. If sa binge is kain ng kain yung isang tao, dito naman sa ARFID is hindi masyadong kumakain yung isang tao kasi mapili sa pagkain, which is nagli-lead sa pagiging malnourished ng isang tao. So, what are the symptoms of ARFID? So, first symptoms of ARFID is significant weight loss or failure to gain weight. So, this is one of the symptoms of this disorder. It's like individual may avoid certain food or eat very little, leading to noticeable weight loss or stunt growth in children. So, yung may disorder na ganito is sobrang konti lang yung mga kinakain kahit anong ihain mo sa kanila, either hindi nila kakainin or konti lang yung kakainin nila doon. So, for example, yung bata is nasanay na ang laging kinakain is hotdog, eggs, or chicken. Then, if bibigyan mo sila ng ibang pagkain, hindi sila kakain kasi yung hahanapin nila is kung ano yung nakasanayan nila. Kapag bigyan mo ng vegetables, hindi nila kakainin, tas pag hindi nila nakuha yung gusto nila is magta-tantrums sila, kaya yung ending is mabibigay mo kung ano yung gusto nila. So, the second is nutritional deficiencies. So, limited food intake often results in deficiencies in essential vitamins and minerals, which can impact overall health. So, yung kaunting pagkain nila ng foods is nagkukulang sila sa mga vitamins kasi hindi sila nagkakaroon ng nutrients sa katawan nila na nagiging sanhi ng pagiging malnourished nila. So, the third symptoms is sensory sensitivities. So, many people with ARFID experience strong aversions to the texture, smell, taste, or appearance of food, making it difficult to enjoy a balanced diet. So, for example, kapag hindi nila gusto yung texture, smell, or yung color ng pagkain is i-refuse talaga nilang kainin kasi ang nasa isip nila is masusukan nila kahit na hindi pa naman nila natatry tikman yung pagkain na yon. So kapag ganun, is sure talaga na hindi na nila kakainin kapag makita pa lang nila yung color na green. For example, yung okra kasi malagkit siya kapag naluto na, then kapag pinakain mo sa kanila is hindi talaga nila kakainin kasi ayaw nila sa texture or color nun sa so ganun yung may mga symptoms na ARFID. So the fourth symptoms of this disorder is fear of choking or vomiting. This fear can be overwhelming and may lead individuals to avoid certain foods altogether, even those they might have previously enjoyed. So, yung isang tao is i-avoid nila yung mga pagkain na sa tingin nila mahirap lunukin or nguyain, like meat or certain fruits, dahil na rin sa takot na ma-choke or masuka sila. Fifth is social isolation. ARFID can cause individual to avoid social situation that involve food, leading to feeling of loneliness and anxiety. Implementing calming practices such as deep breathing or playing soft music during meals can help reduce anxiety and create a more positive mealtime experience. So, like sa binge disorder na lumalayo sila sa ibang tao para hindi sila ma-judge, is meron din sa ARFID, which is pwede siyang hindi makipag-socialize sa ibang tao in terms of food para hindi rin ma-judge pero mas mafe-feel talaga nila dito na mag-isa lang sila. Alam naman natin na kapag mag-isa lang tayo, pag mag-isa lang tayong kumakain, feeling natin hindi natin na-enjoy yung kinakain natin and minsan nawawalan tayo ng gana. Ganon din dito sa ARFID disorder. Mafe-feel mo talaga na lonely ka kapag hindi naiintindihan ng ibang tao yung situation mo. So, may case study na ganito. And may napanood din ako about sa isang batang babae na may ARFID. Yung name niya is Hannah. Si Hannah is siya nga is may ARFID, which is taga-US siya. And nabubuli siya ng mga kaklase niya kasi yung baon niya is candy lang kapag nagre-recess sila, yun lang yung kinakain niya. While yung mga kaklase niya is may burger, meat, and sandwich, and etc. So, if nakikita niya yung mga pagkain ng kaklase niya is para siyang nasusuka and nagtataka yung mga kaklase niya and tinatawag tuloy siyang weirdo. Then, one day, kinausap niya yung tinuturing niyang isa sa mga friend niya and sinabi niya yung disorder na meron siya. So, nung una kasi ayaw niyang malaman ng ibang tao na may disorder siya. Pero nung may isang tumuring sa kanya na kaibigan, doon niya shinare yung na-experience ng disorder. So, nag-start din siyang mag-spread ng awareness through internet and para ma-aware yung ibang tao na may disorder na ganon. Then, nakita nung mga kaklase niya yung ginawa niyang awareness and doon naging eye-opener yung mga kaklase niya kung bakit lagi siyang ganon. So, for now, nagte-take siya ng iba't ibang food every day and nire-rate niya yung food na kinakain niya into 1 to 10. So, may improvement na siya ngayon dahil doon sa Instagram niya, ang daming nag-cheer sa kanya for doing it for herself din. So, now, let's proceed to the treatment strategies of avoidant restrictive food intake disorder. So, first, avoid restrictive diets. So, restricting food types can reinforce avoidance behavior. Instead, focusing on gradually introducing new foods in a non-pressuring way. So, instead na itigil yung mga nakasanayan na foods is, pwede yung treatment na gawin is exposure treatment, which is i-encourage sila na i-expose sila sa iba't ibang food na hindi pinipressure kasi if i-pressure natin sila, mas lalo lang silang hindi pumayag. So, need talaga natin maging gentle and lawakan yung patience natin. So, ipatry sila ng bagong food kahit small bite lang. So, sa pamamagitan nun is malalesen yung anxiety nila about sa food na hindi nila nakakasanayan. So, the second treatment is avoid food labels. So, obsessing over food labels can increase anxiety. Try to focus on the experience of eating rather than the nutritional content. So, create unnecessary anxiety about what you should or what shouldn't eat. When you focus on nutritional information or calorie counts, it can detract from the enjoyment of the meal. So, instead, shift your focus on the sensory experience of eating. Explore the flavors, aromas, and textures of the food. So, pwede rin na i-discuss sa kanila na ganito yung texture ng pagkain, na ganito yung amoy niya at lasa niya, para malesen yung anxiety nila sa mga food na ganon. So, yung ganitong treatment is mas ma-encourage niya yung mga taong may ARFID na ma-appreciate and ma-enjoy yung pagkain na hindi sila na-i-stress sa mga rules ng dietitian. So, the third is avoid pressuring yourself. So, putting pressure on yourself to eat can make the situation worse. Aim for a relaxed approach to meals. So, like sa case study ni Hannah, yung approach na ginawa niya is nag-try siya ng iba't ibang foods every day para ma-less yung anxiety niya and para hindi siya naduduwal. So, nag-set siya ng goal na mag-try siya ng new foods araw-araw without pressuring herself na ubusin lahat nung nasa plate niya. So, this allow her to explore new tastes at her own pace and removes the pressure to finish everything in her plate. Showing a more positive relationship with her food. So, the fourth one is avoid eating alone. So, sharing meals with family or friends can create supportive environment and make eating more enjoyable. Encouraging family meals or having a trusted friend join for lunch can create a more positive and less intimidating environment for eating. So, yung ganong approach is hindi niya lang nagagawang maging enjoyable yung experience ng isang taong may RFID, but also na-encourage niya rin to na makipag-socialize sa iba't ibang tao na makakatulong sa kanya para mabawasan yung stress niya about sa mga pagkain kinakain niya. So, the last approach is avoid mealtime stress. So, stressful mealtimes can trigger avoidance behaviors. Creating a calm and pleasant atmosphere during meal can help reduce anxiety. So, yung pag-i-implement ng calming practices like deep breathing or pagpe-play ng soft music during meals is makaka-help na ma-reduce yung anxiety ng may ganitong disorder. Mai-enjoy niya yung pagkain niya sa ganitong approach. So, by reducing external stress, makaka-create siya ng space para ma-enjoy yung pagkain niya and makaka-take time siya habang kumakain, which shows a more positive relationship with meals. So, RFID is a more serious condition that requires understanding and support. If someone is struggling with these symptoms, seeking help from a healthcare professional can make a significant difference. So, that's all for my report. Thank you for listening.